It was crazy, the things that we saw. There were so many homes just without roofs. It was just total devastation.
The roads weren't all clear. They were clearing the roads while we were there. There wasn't water. The gas lines were maybe 1 mile, 2-3 miles long. It was bad.
The mosquitoes were horrendous, and we had so many counties in the state, everybody asking and begging for bug spray. And that was one of our biggest issues, was getting all this bug spray. Where are we supposed to get this bug spray?
I would get to these small communities. These people had been trapped there from a couple of days before the hurricane, through all of the hurricane, for the several days afterwards till I could get to them. They had no communications, they had no food, they had no water, they had no way to get around because most of their cars were flooded, and even if they hadn't been flooded, there would be no place to go because the gas stations weren't pumping gas because there was no power. So when I showed up there, they were really, really pleased that I was there. It was the first food and the first water that they'd gotten in a long time.
Hey DC, this is Shelly Pelcher. I'm at the Disaster Relief Operations Center in Orlando for the American Red Cross. I am currently doing disaster assessment, so making sure that every area in the state of Florida is addressed and gets the help that they need.
So I was deployed as an emergency response vehicle driver team. However, on my way there, I got a call from the headquarters in Houston that they needed somebody to come work in community engagement partnerships, which is CEP. A community engagement partnership person is somebody who either fills a need or takes something that's donated to us and finds where that donation could go.
So I am in financial development here for the Red Cross. At one point I was given a list of things to ask for, and everything started with the number 200,000. 200,000 rakes, 200,000 shovels, 200,000 of this.
In this disaster, I had the role of administrator and of technical lead. Disaster mental health is a direct service to clients that alleviates fear, provides for basic needs, assesses risk, and looks at resiliency factors that people might have going forward.
I worked evenings from 7 at night till 7 in the morning. Part of my responsibility was to, and I'll use the term, to roam and to look for those folks who may be in some distress. I think when one looks at providing mental health services, one goes beyond the community response to also working with staff, volunteers who are going to be impacted by the tremendous stress and sometimes trauma that's involved with the work. I do think the bottom line is in mental health services, we try to provide whatever services are needed, regardless of our background, in order to complete the task.
My specialty as a volunteer is in the disaster mapping, or in what we call situational awareness. There's a variety of very critical information that can be laid on these maps. Everything from where the shelters are, where the food is, where the transportation is, the medical opportunities, where our shelters are, where our safety and personnel are. And then also by having it on a map, you can layer on things like where are the bridges out, where the roads are out, where is the current flooding. So it's a really important tool.
After I worked in the shelter, I went back to bulk distribution. And I was delivering boxes of food to homes. So I was delivering to one house, and I went up to the house, announced myself, and 2 little boys came out. They were about, I would say, 8 or 9, old enough to kind of be boys. And I told them I had a box with food and some treats, and I put the box down, and I was about to turn to leave, and both of them ran up to me and put their arms around my waist because they were small, and just like gave me a huge hug. And I was like shocked because boys that age don't usually hug that much, and so it was pretty It was pretty adorable and heartwarming. I went back to the car and like couldn't believe it. I was like, that made the trip. That just made the trip, that one moment.
I can't thank you enough for your donations and contributions to the Red Cross. It has made a tremendous difference. I've seen it every day when I'm working with them. You've really made changes in people's lives and safety. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Gracias.
You know, this has been a period of time like no other. I've been with the American Red Cross. I've been serving with the American Red Cross for several decades, and I've never experienced anything like this. One major, horrific disaster, followed by the next. Hurricane Harvey, Irma, Jose, Maria, Nate, California wildfires, and the Las Vegas shooting. All of these occurred at the same time. People in our own community needed us to be there for them. Home fires, they happen every day, every night. And your support has enabled us to be there for people, wherever they were, wherever they are, whenever they have needed us. Now we've got to keep going. Our work is not done. We've got more lives to save and strengthen and support. So we hope you'll stay involved with us. Thank you very, very much.